I'm seeing your mouth move, but I'm not hearing stuff.
I have
Oh, I can hear myself now. Your mouth move,
Yay!
but I'm not hearing stuff.
I have
Oh, I can hear myself.
Yeah.
Your mouth
second
move,
level
but
spells.
I'm not hearing. I think in general, hearing the DM is probably a good idea.
Mystery stream, where you can only hear the players reacting to what's happened.
Cool. I think we are golden. Check again. Go back to my Twitchy. Again. Go back to my Twitchy. All right. Cool. All right. We are good to go. So I apologize for my technical difficulties. I had asked the players last week about their weapons. So since all three of the ones who are on board right this second are magic-y people, I was asking them about their magic. And Mantha was explaining that with Genesis, she does have different arcane focuses. In other words, she uses her holy symbol for her cleric-y stuff and her flute typically for her bardy stuff, or will hum or sing with her bard stuff. So are you flashy when you do it, Genesis, or are you more subdued? And is there a difference in the way that it looks as people are watching you cast a spell for your cleric stuff or your bard stuff?
I think in general Jen's a more like practical character, even though she's a bard. I think unless she's doing magic like specifically to show off, it's just practical whatever works. But like if she's like performing and doing like a little, I guess, a spell to like make the performance look better, she's definitely going to be flashy. But in general, more practical. And in terms to like her like body language, I think definitely when she's casting clericy spells, even if you don't know that like she does bard spells, you can see like how she like her movements are kind of focused around the holy symbol, if that makes sense. Sometimes her hand will go up to it. Sometimes it, yeah. That's what I got.
Okay, cool, awesome. All right, so Kithri, you are an arcane trickster, and as such, you are a rogue, sneak type person, halfling.
Yeah, no, when Mentha was explaining, like, yeah, no, Genesis is pretty practical, no obvious flourishing or whatever. Like, I'm sitting over here and I'm like, yeah, no, she tries to make spells look as unobtrusive as possible. Like, just the way she casts spells is in just her lowest tone of voice, or if possible, she will like her movements, the way she moves for the somatic, is that what it is? Components. They're just, she tries to make them as unrecognizable as possible while at the same time making them the actual spell movements. So
And how do you come upon your spells? Did you study with somebody? Have you found a text in a tome and are self-learned? How did you learn your stuff?
I think that a couple of the spells are a bit of a mix between self-taught and kind of learning by watching, because in the kind of business that she grew up around, a lot of her a lot of her spells are kind of just, illusionary, like distraction spells, that sort of thing, common rogue spells. So it's pretty likely that in the Thieves Guild she was a part of before she joined this group, that there were people who showed her or taught her these spells. Or probably not taught, but she caught on to those spells.
Awesome. I can definitely see how that would be true and how that plays out in the game. All right, so Krek, so you are a sorcerer, a dragonborn sorcerer, draconic blood sorcerer. So you've got the
Yeah.
power running through you when you tap into the weave. Um, so when you cast your spells, what is it that it looks like? And is it flashy, flamboyant? Um, well, what does it look like when you do your spells?
I mean, the nature of lightning, it's pretty dang flashy. And I almost always use lightning spells. Sometimes I do support spells like haste or slow, but it's usually lightning, and I don't know, I just imagine lightning kind of sparking, I don't know how to describe it. Like,
Very cool, very cool. So what does so Kithri, you have a spell book. What does it look like?
It's probably very worn, like kind of leather backed little, almost like a diary or a journal. It's like I've been saying, it's as small and unnoticeable as possible because that's just the nature of her work. And also, she doesn't even have that many spells to begin with, so.
All right, and if someone were to find the spell book and open it up,
Oh, it's
like,
definitely
does it
in some
blatantly
sort of
look like
thieves'
a
cant.
okay? Does it look
Does
like a
not.
spell book, or does it look like a journal or ledger or something else?
Probably looks a bit like a diary, I would say.
All right, so let me thank you, Mantha, for pointing that out.
I got you.
All right, so all right, we'll talk to Tusk when he gets in. There we go. All right, so Mantha, if you would explain to anybody who is watching, and also people on YouTube who are watching later, when you come on live, we have a brand new feature for those of you um, who watch the stream. You already can see down below that there are characters. So Krek, Genesis, Kithri, and Tusk are there with their stats, their current hit points, um, and those update live. Their armor class, stuff like that, is all down below. Uh, but thanks to Mantha, the awesome moderator I have, she came up with a new trick that you guys can do if you want to find out more information about any of the particular characters or myself. So Mantha, why don't you explain what that is and how to do it?
Okay, so sorry, lost my words for a moment. So we use Nightbot to help mod the channel. And so if you are ever in the Twitch chat, you can go ahead and use some of our awesome commands. And I'm gonna end up putting them in chat, even though you guys can't see it if you are looking back. If you do exclamation mark and then Genesis, Tusk, Kithri, Craig, or obviously DM, it will bring up a little character profile. So, oh, he's bringing it up on screen. So it'll give a brief description of the character, tell you what levels they have in each class, and it'll tell you who plays them.
Yep. So just put their name in. I don't think, and it doesn't have to be case sensitive.
It is lowercase.
Okay, so it is case sensitive, but it's lowercase. All right, and and just use the first names, exclamation point, and their name all together, and it'll bring it up. You can also use quote. You can also use quote, exclamation point quote, and then exclamation point follow age, altogether one word, a space, and then whatever username that is, whether you want to see like Mantha 8225's, how long she's been following me, or yourself. If you're curious, it gives you all the way down to the second, how long they've been following. So those are some of the quotes we have in there. Also, one thing that I haven't done in a while, because I forgot, if I say, I do like to make dad jokes and puns, and so do my players on all my streams. So anytime that happens, you can, if the watch viewers don't put in exclamation point pun, and I will remember, if I remember, I will throw that in there, and it just keeps a running tally of how many times on the Twitch we've done that. So you can see I need to probably add about 15 more than the 57 is counted at right now, but that's okay. The point is, you can find out information. Also, Mantha, you want to explain what you just did?
We use the earplugs of the Boulette so much. So I made a little command exclamation mark earplugs, and it'll give you a brief description saying what it is and what the magical effect is. Because we use it so dang much, and we probably forget to explain it all the time.
All right, awesome. So that takes care of the clerical work. Let's jump back into it. Nick should be here any second. I was expecting him to be here by now, but he has checked in. He will be here. I have faith. So last week, we had come in and the players had come into this room with the diorama of Nashkel. This is the culmination of why they even came to the Burning Keep many sessions ago, was to find how they were. They had been told that there were rumors. They had been told that somebody was setting up a means of casting spells into Nashkel from this location, and this is magic hereto unheard of before. And so they had gone through this whole section over to the west. There were two buildings. There's a much smaller building, like a little tower, over to the east. They explored all the building to the west, went and they found trapdoors that led them 3 levels below. They went through all those, cleared them all out, found this huge hag, the big boss, went through a big fight, defeated, ran off the big bad person, and then we're just sort of sitting there looking around at each other and saying, well, we still haven't found what we're looking for. That sounds like a good name for a song. But they then went to the east side in the small building. It was completely empty, unlike everywhere else. Went up to the second floor, and then they came into this room. The door was locked, and they were able to figure out to get into how to get into the room. And they found this diorama of Nashkel. Detailed down, there were no moving people, but as they looked closer and closer, they can see all these little details. Some of the major points they have been to before, like the market, the arena,
The ice cream shop.
couple of the big temples that they'd been to, the 2 main entrances into the Nashkel, the docks and things. They even found that some of the ships were moving out in the harbor, which is actually a river. And so they did detect magic and found all these different types of magics. And there are basically 3 different types of runes here. These 2 large circles underneath, then these smaller rectangular at the, they can see 3 of them. There might be 4 at the cardinal directions. They're not sure, but they can see 3 of them. The triangles. These, actually there's 4, I'm sorry. These small gray circles, there's 2 of them. And then these very, very intricate magical squares that are connected to these candles that are ever burning blue, giving off blue light. And 3 of those. And they figured out by studying it and looking at it, doing a bunch of arcana checks and history checks and all these different checks, they determined that the 3 squares is where the magic users would stand. And then together they could do something, and that's how they would cast into Nashkel. And besides the 3 blue candles giving off their blue light, the diorama itself was lit as well. So they then
I'm
left.
back.
They went down all the way downstairs back to see what was going on with the demon who had helped them, the fiend. He had helped them, but then had been put into a force cage by the hag. Force cage lasts an hour. So after the hour had passed, they went back down there. He was gone. No note, no farewell, nothing. He just left.
Rude.
No note. Car gone. Could have died. You could have been seen.
That's right. So then they came all the way back up. And after searching a little bit more for the hag, she wasn't down there either. There was no indication that she had returned yet. So they came all the way back up because Krek was like, "Hey, we might be able to disrupt the magic in this room." So they came back up to this room and looked at the cool diorama again, and then spent some time doing different skills, various skills on deception and sleight of hand, arcana, history, lots of different skills trying to disrupt and change what was happening with this magic. They were successful in that as they finished up the last of it, and Tusk used his axe to slice through some of the circle as well, and some of the things that they were doing, they then woke up. So they had been blasted back, knocked unconscious, and were very hurt and a lot of pain as they woke up one at a time, slowly coming to consciousness. They stumbled back into the room to see that 2 of the blue candles had gone out. The light spell, or the illumination of the diorama itself, was out. When they had started this process, it had been about 4 in the morning. Everything was still dark. When they woke up, sunlight is pouring through the arrow slits, and so they don't know exactly what time it is or how long they were unconscious, but they have woken up, and that is where we left off. Is there anything I left out? Anything anybody would like to add?
We took a lot of damage from that explosion.
Guess we got crammed into an arrow slit.
Our horses are fine, or our mounts are fine for now. At least they were before the explosion. Oh, they're nowhere
we
near.
weren't
Yes.
in the room,
I
so
did forget that Tusk had run out to check on the horses. Had been almost 24 hours since they had come in, so they checked on them. They have horses isn't really the correct thing to say. They should be mounts.
no.
Yeah.
Because Tusk has like this giant ox-looking thing called an auroch. Kithri rides a drake, and Krek rides a lizard. Genesis is the only one that has a horse. And so, but anyway, because of that,
Bagel.
and
Bagel
also
with cream cheese.
because Kithri's familiar has been staying out there, guarding the mounts as well, with all these different mounts themselves. They found a couple kobolds had attacked the mounts and had been taken out by the mounts. So Tusk healed one of them that had been shot by an arrow, not healed, but dressed the wound, and then made sure they had enough food and stuff, and then came back. And then they got exploded.
Yeah.
All right, so you do notice also that the ships are gone. There are no ships in the bay, it's just the docks that are there. As far as you can tell, you don't see any other changes within the diorama itself, the model. So, what would you guys like to do?
Hey, you guys want to sit around for a while while I cast Prayer of Healing?
Yeah, I could do that.
It's 10 minutes.
Yeah, no, I'm good with sitting around the campfire. It's
While
just no
we
campfire song.
sit down and she does her correct, are you able to correct Kithri? Are you able to figure out whether what you guys were doing worked, or should I take the explosion as a sign that it worked?
I mean, it could have been something protecting the magic circle that blew up, but I guess if we're waiting for 10 minutes, I could try to figure it out.
I mean, if you think you did it, I trust your judgment. You guys were doing I mean, I walked in partway through. You guys looked really into it, and I don't know. It looked like it was working but
I mean,
you
yeah,
know,
if we're
it's
spending 10
yeah.
minutes waiting,
may
I
as
might as
well.
well, yeah.
Okay.
Are you okay, Nick?
Just water went down the wrong throat.
Oops.
Oh,
All right, so you're going to stretch that into a short rest, or are you just going to do 10 minutes?
Honestly, I'm
This
good for a
is-
short rest if you guys are.
yeah.
I mean, I'm good for a long rest if you guys are.
Maybe we shouldn't take a long rest, though. I don't know.
I feel like just 10 minutes is fine.
Well, if we do a short rest, we
But
can...
I don't gain anything back on a short rest. That's the only reason I'm saying that, so.
Well, actually,
You can burn
thinking
hit
on it,
points.
dice.
You can burn hit
Yeah.
dice.
Yeah.
I'm thinking we probably should head out soon if this stuff works. So it might be best to take a short rest and try and recover as best as we can before heading out.
I mean, I don't think we know exactly how long we were out, do we?
Well, it was not
Not
light
yet.
out before. Actually, I'll go see if I can figure that out. Give me a second, and I'll head up the stairs to go to the top of the tower and see if I can judge roughly what time it is based off of where the sun is. Because all I know is that it was not light out, or at least not as light out, and now it is. But that's it. Yes. Yes.
It is 10:30.
All right. Tusk comes down and says with probably the most confidence he could muster that it is 10:30 on the dot.
And you know it is still the same day.
Yes, and that is we weren't out for more than a day. It's still the same day.
And so, doing the mental math, you guys were out for about 6 hours.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Okay,
hey, we
how
could
about
go rest for 2 more hours, and then we got a long rest, right?
I don't think
No.
it works quite that way.
No, I don't think it does either.
I mean, maybe we
Okay.
should be
Well.
next to our mounts? Like, I don't know.
Wait, what?
Well,
Maybe
you
we
guys
should
can
go
do your
down
quick
to where
check,
the
and then we can
mounts
go.
are before we do this.
Well,
Yeah.
feel free to check. I can go check on our mounts again, and you guys can join me once you're done checking. Then we can finish our short rest if that works for you guys.
Whatever. Let's just do it here. This is taking.
I think Jen was like already preparing to cast a spell, and she's like stopping, like, wait, what? So, wait, that's not my character voice. Well, I'm up for anything. I think it would be nice to be around the mounts again. So maybe we just finish up here and then head down together.
Sounds good. Take however long you need to double check your work, and then we can head out or head to the mounts and rest.
All right, so there was a lot of discussion. I don't know that anybody has made a final decision. Somebody tell me what you're doing.
I believe we're staying up here to check if this worked, and then heading down to the mounts together, if I'm right.
Yeah, they're double checking their work, and then we're going to head to the mounts and rest, take a short rest there.
All right, and how are you checking to see if it worked?
Yeah, that's just.
Probably like checking to see if the map has moved at all.
Oh,
So
Making
the
sure that
two,
the runes appear to be damaged.
okay, so what you all had done still remains. So the slash that Tusk had done, some of the removal of some of the lines, and the addition that Kithri had done, all those things are there still. Also, the only changes that you can tell on the map by doing a cursory glance is the ships are gone, and ships and boats are gone. Nothing else. All the major buildings seem to be there, and the trees and the hay bales, all the different minor details all seem to be there. But you do notice that the two candles are out, and the light above that had been lighting the diorama is out as well. Now you can see all this because there are where those three runes are, the triangular runes are arrow slits, so there's light coming in from those three locations, lighting up the room. But you would still be able to see there are enough shadows enough to know that that light is gone, and you can tell where the blue light is from the one candle.
okay. I don't know if Jen would remember it. Would you say that there's normally like at least one ship in the harbor? Like, not on the map, but like what Jen knows of Nashkel, like there's normally at least one boat at the dock or something, right?
I don't know that you would necessarily know that as much as, say, Kithri would,
Oh, really?
even Krek Well, no, Craig's not from Nashkel. I mean, I was thinking the other Dragonborn. So yeah, Kithri would know that more than you would, but you would presume that there are fishermen. So you would presume there would be at least fishing boats going in and out every once in a while, uh, and the trading would be sporadic, but it is relatively constant.
Okay.
So I guess the simple answer to your question is yes.
Okay.
The odds that the two large ships and all of the small ships boats are gone, have just left, would be very slim.
Okay. I think yes, magic stuff, but I think Jen's probably taking that as her like biggest like thing of like, this is probably not, I guess.
Or at least not functioning correctly.
Yeah, that's fair. Won't be able to cast any magic at the boats.
All right, if you think it worked, and I trust you guys. As always, magic just goes over my head.
You do have one spell.
Technically, I have two, but that's not really a spell. That's just channeling nature through me. But you know, I don't cast magic. I can channel nature through me a little bit, but whatever. If you guys are done, let's go check on the mounts. You know, want to head to the mounts again and rest.
His is more of like a Native American dance, their rituals. So it's more Native American. He has different things that he says and hums and maybe even sings, whether it's to himself or out loud, and different motions that he does and things. Maybe some designs he draws, but it's very primal and more, like I said, more like a Native American ritual than a actual twisting of the weave.
Yeah.
And we all know that Tusk is a very good dancer.
Shush you.
Yes.
All right, then let's go take our short rest with our mounts.
All right, so you guys sadly leave this room.
Yeah.
We do still appreciate all the work you put into it. It looks great.
Thank you. I fished for enough compliments but I do appreciate it. I enjoy doing it, but like I said, I have so much other stuff that I should be doing that I may have spent a little bit too much time on this room.
But it's so fun,
But I do appreciate
isn't
it. I'm glad you guys liked it and definitely came back to it. So we at least got 2 sessions with the map. All right. So you head back to the mounts. So I'm just adjusting the calendar, guys. I was gonna say it's about 20 minutes. Let's Tusk, you're leading. Go ahead and give me a percentile.
Will do.
So I'm gonna adjust a little bit based on what he rolls. Oof. So
Oh
it's gonna
no.
take a good 40 minutes. So they're gonna get there at 10 after. All right. So as you're going down the steps, the Tusk, you get like a head rush, and starts spinning for a minute. So you stop for a moment and then take a couple deep breaths and are able to keep going. Then you get down to the next floor and you guys are heading out. Same thing happens with Kithri. So you guys pause for a moment as she collects herself and then gets back to going again. You cross over the lava into the big area, the big courtyard area, and start heading toward the portcullis Genesis gets the same wave of nausea and vertigo almost, and so you guys stop. So it takes you about 40 minutes to get out to where the mounts are. Again, you're inundated by the scent and the smell coming up from the lava, the magma that's there, the sulfur. As you step back outside, as you just inundated with this, you now have the sun shining down on you. So you're adjusting to that a little bit as you guys work your way up out of this canyon and out of the valley up to where the mounts are. But you get back there okay, and they are excited in varying degrees. The Auroch sort of just snorts, but those of Tusk, you've been with him long enough and subtle enough, you see his tail whisking a little bit more than usual, and so he is really happy to see you, although he's hiding it.
Tsundere.
Whereas
You
the Drake,
tsundere mount.
Kithri's Drake knocks her down and is licking her face and is excited to see her. And the horse just sort of comes up and sort of nudges you, Genesis, looking for some sort of treat.
I know Jen normally carries apples and carrots specifically for Steelfoot, so she probably roots around in her bag of holding and pulls out one, realizes that she needs to restock sometime soon.
All right, so you've made it back to your mounts successfully. What would you like to do now?
Take a short rest before heading out for the day. Trying to turn to the rest of the group. I think we should probably try at least get a little distance back to Nashkel, even if it won't be a full day's journey. But at the same time, with how who knows what that hag might have put into this wilderness around here, so we might be best to rest up, gather ourselves before we head out.
Okay. Well, we are here.
So,
we are with the mounts. Shall we go ahead and do our stuff?
All right, sounds good. So yeah, short rest, and then we'll head out.
I guess I'm just gonna check. Are any of the mounts injured? I doubt it, but I'm gonna ask because I got 2 creatures that I can still target beyond us.
One of them has a minor wound. You see it's been bandaged and cleaned. Nate, do you remember which one it was?
It was a horse, so it would be Steelfoot.
Well, Steelfoot's getting some healing. And then I guess Jen's gonna target Piper as well, because maybe he got hurt when she got thrown by magic. Who knows? Sorry, I don't have the
Piper's not there.
Tracker.
I did not realize I'd forgotten that he was with you. He's gone.
Actually, yeah, no. Piper, if I remember correctly, got taken out in one of the fights.
Did he?
Like a while ago.
Oh,
yeah, in the first fight.
Well, I should probably work on resummoning him at some point, probably during this rest.
If I remember correctly, the big fiend took him out when he cast like a lightning bolt or something.
Or was that Athena?
It was one of the. I thought Athena was back, so I remember one of the familiars got taken out by a lightning bolt.
It might have been Piper.
I don't know.
Nope.
Joe in the background.
That's right.
Sorry, Joe's old character thought like, oh yeah, everybody around the lightning bolts, like they're high enough level to withstand it, and she's fried Piper a few times.
No. Crap. Alright,
Did you mean to do a long rest?
No, I didn't mean to do a long rest. I hit the wrong button. But you guys now have a long rest. Congratulations.
Thank you.
One thing that you guys, now that you guys have had a chance to relax and take a little bit of time relaxing, Tusk, you're the first to notice it. The R on your chest is gone.
Huh.
Huh.
Whoa.
So is yours, Crick.
Or that would have
Whoa.
been Cromwell.
I don't think. Yeah,
Oh, that it was
Cromwell had
Cromwell.
it.
All right, so Cromwell's still there.
As a side note, with that, do I get that one max hit point back or no?
Genesis, go ahead and cast your spell. And yes, I'll give you back your hit point.
That was more of a player wondering, but that is interesting.
I will say, considering we were very hurt, Jen is using a 5th level spell to do paralytic healing because we were hurt.
And especially since you know you're taking a long rest, so don't mark off
Yeah.
the spell slot. Just go ahead and
Oh, okay. Well, I will unmark it then.
roll it for GP, and then I need a 20-sider as well, please. Nice. Okay, and then give me a thank you. All right, so for argument's sake, let me go back to the calendar. Don't forget, those of you, the characters, you can go back all the way till the 24th, the first moon. That's just as far as I've gone. Bring things over from the previous version of Fantasy Grounds. And look at any day, remind yourself what you did, what was happening. That's what the calendar is for. So you guys rested right at midnight. You finished your long rest just after midnight, 10 minutes after midnight. And so it is now 11:30 in the afternoon. Did you want to travel for a little bit more before you take your long rest? Or did you?
Yes, we did want to travel a little more before we took our long rest to get a head start on the way back.
So you would be down some hit points still because she healed 26. I think the worst of you was down 80. And the least worst, I think, was Kithri at 30 or 40.
Probably Kithri, yeah.
But the point is, you were still down, you were still hurt some, but you are able to travel for a little while, and then the fatigue just really kicks in. This whatever it was that happened to you all, especially Kithri, Genesis, and Krek, you keep getting these waves of vertigo, and where have double vision for a moment. Different things keep happening to you. Tusk, it doesn't affect you as much, but it is affecting you. So I'm going to say after about 3 hours, you guys finally decide to go ahead and stop and rest. So it's been 14 hours since you guys have been up. All the fights, all the things you've done since then. So if you think back to the whole second floor with the Myrmidons and the Spike Devils, and then you went into the library and the Tinker's room, went down, rescued the Captain Smilodon, fought those weird sand-filled creatures, fought the hag, talked to the demon, all the stuff that's happened since you guys woke up. And then in addition to the capstone of being blasted and knocked out for 6 hours by some magical force you don't understand. So I'm going to say you go ahead and go until. Let's see exactly how well you guys fare. I'm going to give you a roll.
Oh.
Constitution check. I'm going to say athletics. All right, so I'm going to say this is just a straight athletics check, unless you guys can want to give me another reason for just pushing yourselves to keep going and overcoming these waves of weirdness that's happening to your bodies.
Constitution.
Constitution, yeah.
Yeah, but I was hoping to give you guys a little bit more of a boost because athletics doesn't have it, but that's fine. Let me do this then. Click.
Yeah, I only have a +1 to athletics and I have a +8 to con saves.
I have +0 to strength save and +2 to
Oh,
con save.
wow. Wow.
Oh god.
A 2 and a 3.
At least you're good at athletics, though.
I had advantage.
He rolled pretty okay.
All right, so overall, you guys did fairly well. So I am going to give you the 3 hours of travel. So that's 3 plus 11. 11 is 14. All right, so that's 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And so did you want to rest throughout the night and just start early in the morning, take a longer than normal rest? Or did you want to get up in the middle of the night? It would be about 1 in the morning, midnight, and head out and travel throughout the night in darkness.
I think we're probably trying to do this a little bit faster, right? So
Yes, but with you guys destroying or messing with the circle, I think we are less pressed than we were beforehand. I am fine either way. I will personally. Speed is important, probably in this. But I will throw out that night is a lot more dangerous.
One thing to keep in mind is the route that you're taking is almost a good 80% of it is overland. There's no roads, there's no, how you got here and stuff is, as you've been traveling through like Jasper Moon, heading to the east, even to the Grassland Enclaves and stuff, there's been trails, there's been roads. To get here, you guys were traveling over the mountains through the things to get to this long canyon area that leads into the Burning Keep Valley. You guys are pretty much out of that aspect of it, but your direct shot to Nashkel is overland, unless you want to travel straight west to hit the road from Ammon and then go up. So, but how you got here was straight south overland. So, doing that at night, it would be easier if you went straight west till you hit the road and then up, or if you wanted to just go straight up. Am I making sense?
Yeah, at least to me you are. Here's what I propose.
Sorry.
Here's what I propose. We take a longer than normal rest and take the more direct route, but during the daytime, which will be both easier for us to travel during the day as well as less dangerous, because the more dangerous stuff comes out at night. That is my choice, or that's my vote. If you guys have counter ideas, I'm willing to hear.
This is game mechanics wise, but we can. Isn't there basically we could travel at half speed and be more careful? Isn't that a thing?
Yes, if you're traveling at half speed, that means you're being stealthy and you're covering your tracks as well. And you're also trying to look for traps as you're traveling.
Okay.
We could also do that, and then possibly do like a longer day of travel and just pick up speed when it gets daytime. I don't
Yeah,
know.
that
It's
is what is in my brain, but like I want to hear what you guys have to say.
that's not. I kind of like that idea.
Crack Kithri, do you have input?
I mean, though I do agree that nighttime usually brings out more baddies, Kithri's definitely more comfortable moving under the cover of darkness. I mean, I guess a lot of baddies think the same way, but
Mhm.
you know, that's how she feels.
And if we go careful, like how Jen is proposing, I think we'll probably be all right with you and between our combined skills of being stealthy and being able to track and whatnot. Correct? Would you do you have a preference for spending through the night and traveling during the day, or resting now and traveling during the night and into day? Because I'm kind of leaning towards Jen's idea now, but like to hear from everyone.
Yeah, sure, Jen's idea works fine.
And keep in mind that two of you can't see.
Um, Jen, how would you feel about if we went through with your idea, lending your earplugs to Correct, so he at least has that to benefit him during the night, so we don't have to rely on light.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, this isn't a game, but like the thought of sharing earplugs with someone is so
To
gross.
be fair, they're made out of teeth, so they're probably
also
easier to
magic.
clean.
Don't you also
Yeah.
have prestidigitation, or one of you have that,
I think Jen has
Yeah.
Yeah.
so she can just clean them?
What did you say they were made out of?
They're made out of teeth, aren't they? The boulette
Oh,
teeth that are
teeth.
filed down.
Okay.
What did you think I said, dude?
It didn't make sense to me at all. That's why I was asking. What did
They're
you say?
made out of
It's
cheese,
like tea.
guys.
I was like, that's not what she said. So
All right. So someone correct me if I'm wrong, but I think this is what we decided on. We're gonna rest now and then travel through at the slower speed throughout the night, and then when it gets lighter out, pick up our pace to normal speed again. And in doing so, Jen is going to lend her earplugs to Crack so that they at least have the tremor sense so that we don't have to use light.
all right. And remind me, do they require attunement?
I
Jen?
don't believe so. Let me check.
And correct, is this something you want to do?
Yeah, I mean,
We just shove them in his ears.
you know, what's more important than or what's probably as important as the writer being able to see is the mount being able to see. My lizard has dark vision, but I have no idea about any of the other mounts.
I believe my mount might as well.
Mine's a horse, guys. That yeah.
Yeah,
I
no,
don't
dark
remember if
vision 60
Aurochs
feet
do or don't. I think they do,
for
but I don't know.
riding Drake.
I'm sure with us going slow and us leading them, even for those who don't, we should be able to help them go.
Okay.
And I mean, if we know where to go, especially if we're going slow, you could just get off and lead them.
Artemis
Yeah.
does have dark vision. Castru does not.
Does not? Okay.
And Steelfoot definitely doesn't. Don't even check. Oh, and I put the earplugs of the Boulette in chat. They do not require attunement.
All right, so Crick, for the first couple hours, it is very confusing. You have a splitting headache after about 15 minutes as you're trying to get used to this new sensory input. They are magical, so they're working, but it takes you a little while to differentiate what's going on. Um, you're able to then, after a couple hours, actually let's see just how well you do here. I'm going to get a couple rolls from you.
Uh-oh.
All right, so yeah, it takes you about 3 hours before you finally have an idea of what's happening and what's going on as you're starting to get used to this cacophony of sound. It's just all these sounds going on around you, and you're able to then finally. It's like, I don't know if you've ever been in a crowded concert hall or waiting for a movie or something where before it starts. Um, but I used to be in concert choir, and for fun when we were practicing and stuff, I would close my eyes and try to focus and see if I could just hear the altos or just hear the sopranos things and try to tune everything else out. The point is, it is possible for you to do. So it takes you a little while to learn how to do it. You talk to Genesis a little bit, Kithri, who has them as well, um, and she gives you some pointers um, to where you're able to mentally catalog what you're hearing and and the sensations, and then you realize, okay, this is uh, the mounts. This is this. You realize you don't hear. You can hear with your ears Athena every once in a while, although she's very quiet when she flies. But when she chirps and does her things, it doesn't come through the earplugs at all. And it's also odd because sound is muted a lot. So the normal sounds that the steelfoot makes and the auroch and the lizards hissing and things, everything is muted. And for a little while, every time you talk really loud because you're not used to having these earplugs in your ears. Um, but after about 3 hours, you feel competent enough with them. Okay, so
And at that point, it's light outside, so.
all right, so normally you could take about a 10-hour rest. Um, so that everybody can get a full 8 hours, and that also includes downtime when you stop, breakfasts and eating and getting ready for the day. Uh, so that would take you to about, dang it, hold on. Fancy Ground is freaking out. 10:30, 13:30, 1:32, 2, 10. All right, so that takes you to just after midnight. Again, did you want to get a little extra rest? When you guys do wake up, it's not like the normal rest. Yes, you're healed. Yes, you get your spell points, your spell slots back and stuff. But you're just weary. You're just worn. You're sore still. After like a lot, similar to like a good workout. Um, Kithri especially, you have a crick in your neck from still from when you woke up, jammed into this arrow slot. And did you guys want to take a couple extra hours of rest and leave about 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning, 4, right at midnight? What did you want to do?
Unless someone says otherwise, Tusk will push to go at midnight. Unless someone would like to do a couple more hours rest.
I think Jen probably agrees. She wants to get there as fast as she can.
I mean, that was the original plan to begin with, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what is the driving? Taking a step back, what is the driving force? What is the timeline that you guys are working against?
Well, we know that in about, well, less than a week, there will be I guess, a party. I can't remember the word. But there are people that are going to be going to the tower that we are just coming from, and we want to be able to beat them, and hopefully both beat them in time wise and beat them physically.
Also, the hag will want to get back as fast as possible to prevent the hag from resetting up everything, and or joining forces with them if she doesn't come back already joined. So we're hoping that, at least my ideas, hope is power Nashkel, grab whatever things we need, possibly recheck with the captain, and then head back to lie in wait. If not, catch them right as they're trying to set up again.
I am checking my notes right now, and it says that the delegation will be here on the 21st day, the second moon. If the calendar is right, it is the 17th. So we have, if it's midnight, 5 days before they are here, 4 days before they're here. So we're trying to hurry.
All right. So you guys, let's do a quick little jump back to when you first, at 2 o'clock this afternoon, doing anything special when you set up camp. You're still in the mountains, but you're on like a little overhang. It goes back about 15 feet into the rock, and you're setting up your tents and things there.
Well, I know that once we are set up, Jen would want to resummon Piper.
All right. So it takes an hour and 25 gold. You still have your familiar kits?
I don't think I've used any yet, so I'm gonna say yes.
Okay. Anybody else?
Let me check, actually. I do not believe I have anything besides possibly touching up on the axe from some of the beatings that I took from the magically enchanted stuff he tried to take a whack at.
And Genesis, I need a d20, please.
have a feeling that something very bad is going to happen when I cast a spell and then roll a 1.
So as you're doing your ritual, you've done this many times before, but as you're tapping into the weave and accessing the Feywild to pull Athena from the Feywild where she resides when you don't have her, she comes as well as this flight of sparrows, about half a dozen sparrows come flying out and fly around where you guys are for a moment and then shoot out and go flying away
Well, that
as
was
you
exciting.
lose a little bit of control of the weave and then lock it back down.
Sorry.
That's when she summoned Piper, right? Not Athena.
Yeah, she was summoning
Piper,
Piper,
sorry.
but yeah, that's fine. We knew what you meant.
Sorry, I don't know what I pushed to make that happen, but I will remove it.
The uncanny dodge button.
Yeah, turn it off. Off.
Actually, remembering that I have this, Tusk will take out the alchemy jug and pour everyone a glass of mead for just getting through all that.
How strong of meat are we talking? Knowing Tusk,
How he sees
Jen
it,
doesn't want
light
to be
mead,
too
but
drunk for the watch.
as he sees it, light mead, but it's probably closer to medium. Doesn't want to go too bad on you guys.
Oh, there it is. All
Jen
right.
will drink about half the glass and then offer the rest to Tusk once his is empty.
All right. Krek and Kithri, you guys gonna do anything special?
Don't know about get through your correct, but he does offer it to you guys.
I would think Kithri's not really a fan of meat in particular words.
Good job with the words.
Craig might try it, but I don't know.
The bronze veins. And downses.
Anybody else have anything they want to do while we are resting?
Kithri might be looking over her stuff, like her equipment and things, just cleaning things that are dirty or dusty and putting them all back in
I
a way
will
that's easier to
also.
access.
Sorry, I'm cutting in. I will also say that we have recently gotten books that give us benefits if we read them.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I somehow remembered it at the beginning of the session, and then I forgot it in the meantime.
It's
Okay, I'm
just a
curious,
miracle
what
that I
kind of
remembered
books?
it.
And Kithri, are you still studying Undercommon?
Yes.
I have,
Well,
two things.
I don't know
One,
how
I'm
long
very
you want
curious
me
to
to
see
be.
which books those are.
Sorry.
No, sorry, I'm interrupting you. Go ahead.
I don't know how long you want it to be like understudying because I just learned I took the linguist fee, I believe, to get my intelligence up to 18. And I think we marked it with studying as more of a role play sort of thing, and like it's more realistic. So it's a bit up to you how long you want it to be up on there.
Okay, no, I have that marked already on the calendar. I was just curious, making sure that
Mm.
there was something you still were doing.
I have the book called Druidcraft for the Beginner. It says it takes 5 downtime hours to read it, even though it only has 93 pages.
All right,
It's
and
very
then what's the
technical.
effect?
You can cast a Druidcraft cantrip with your Wisdom modifier. I don't know.
That's fine.
All right, so go ahead and find that in the spells. You would be able to cast it once, and then it would go
Does
away.
really only once?
Right, because he's not learning the cantrip, he's just learning it from the book. So it's like a scroll, but you can reuse it every night if you wanted to.
You
Well, that's
become
okay.
very familiar with the book.
Oh, that's interesting.
Go ahead and share it in chat, and I'll just double check. From that, it's been a while since I read it, but
Share what? The book or the cantrip?
the book.
Mhm.
Ambient lighting. All right. Moonlight. There we go. Moonlight. On. Off. Click.
Open it.
Click. Click.
Well,
Click. There we go.
It's because none of us are owners of the book.
it's true.
Yes. So it says you can cast the Druidcraft cantrip. Wisdom is your spellcasting modifier for it. Yes, because there are other books that say that you learn certain spells or you gain a spell slot for a certain thing or whatever the case might be. In this case, you're not learning the spell, you're just able to cast it. I will say if you
Yeah.
can continue to use it, then you will eventually be able to add it to your spell list and you'll have it where you can cast it in it all the time. But especially because it's the first time you're using it, you have the knowledge and you think you can cast it, but it's a one-time use right now.
Okay.
I know that one of the books I have takes 23 hours to read, but I do get that spell once per long rest. So, yeah. So
Yeah,
there's the
so you don't
difference
have to read
between
it
5
again,
and
right?
24
You don't
in
have
the
to read it
footage.
again. So
Just curious, what spell?
For me,
Yeah, for your thing.
I can choose one spell from the wizard spell list that is 3rd level or below.
Oh, that's cool. Now, actually, real quick roleplay thing. After Jen's ritual summoning, Tusk would probably actually ask, "Is it normal for more than your familiar to come through with that, or you losing a grip on your magic? Just worried that the explosion might have affected you more than you think."
I don't normally lose my grip on that spell. I I might just be out of practice though. I don't know. And she looks a little bit more concerned about it, and then you can kind of see her shoving that down, shoving down that
Mhm.
uncertainty. So when you first ask her, it kind of catches her off guard. But she regains her composure by the time she finishes speaking.
All right. Tusk makes a mental note to watch all casters when casting magic to see if there's any trouble with them casting magic from now on.
Dun.
Dun dun dun. Because we as players know it's probably gonna turn out bad. But you know what? Who cares? What?
Yeah. Sorry, I wanted to do that earlier, but got sidetracked.
No, it's good. Yay.
But no, those are some cool books that you guys got. Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to share a map. Go ahead and move yourselves within, not go beyond Tusk, but if you want to adjust where you are on the trail, you can. You are on the bottommost part of this map. And there you go, tokens are unlocked. So everything is going up.
All right. Are we traveling down or up?
Up.
Got it.
Quick question though. Is it nighttime at the moment?
Yes, it is nighttime. It's why everything is subdued. There is some moonlight, but it's very dark. Do you guys, I will let you choose now. Do you want to have your mounts, or are you just going to hand wave the mounts right now?
I'm fine to hand wave them. At least that's my vote.
Yeah, I think especially since we're going slow, Jen's probably leading Steelfoot at the moment because she can see and he can't. So
All right, so
it would be,
Krek
yeah.
and Kithri, you guys should both have blind sense on. Like I said, as I've told Kithri before, it's the closest thing we have to what you guys have. They don't really have tremor sense coded exactly correct, but it's close enough. It gives you a little bit more than what you actually have. Like I said, anything that's not touching the ground or not moving, you don't know where it is. Whereas blind sense, you do. But anyway, are you both able to see? Can anybody not see anything on the map?
I mean,
I
All
can
right.
I'm
see
good.
the map, I think.
Okay, so as you're, so if this is the way you guys are traveling, go ahead and move a little bit further along.
Tusk makes a note to stay on
All
the
right, go ahead and
cliff
stop.
side for us.
You're making a note to stand by the edge of the.
I make a note to stand, like if Kitchen's standing next to me, he'll try to be on the cliff side of us two.
Okay. Genesis, give me a wisdom check to see if you can stop yourself from pushing him off. No, I'm
Is
just
this a
kidding.
wisdom save or just a wisdom?
No, I'm just kidding. That's totally up to you.
Oh,
She thinks it would be really funny.
So you do the old push and but then holding on to him, just to wake him up a little bit as he's leading Kaz through. All right, so at this point, I'm typing.
all right. If we are traveling slow to where we are able to kind of keep an eye out for stuff, Tusk would like to try and keep an eye out for possible tracks they may come across. Will I alert him that there might be some creatures nearby, or they might be coming across coming across some fresh tracks of creatures. So to indicate it. And my brain just stopped. Sorry
Alright.
about that.
You're looking for tracks. It's night,
Mhm.
and you are using your dark vision, so you're going to be at disadvantage anyway. But you are trying to keep an eye out on it. This is
Yeah.
also rocky terrain that you're in right now, so uh,
Mhm.
it's not as you don't have the broken limbs from the trees or shrubberies, any of that stuff
Yeah.
to help you out. Um, so far, you haven't really seen anything out of the ordinary. There are tracks every once in a while uh, from rodents, reptiles, birds, um, even some older tracks. But you saw those. There's also your tracks from when you came. So,
Mhm.
but as far as anything new or out of the ordinary, you haven't seen anything so far.
Jen kind of reaches out and grabs Tusk's arm gently to like, hey, stop. And she, I guess you guys are kind of blind. She taps her feet on the ground in like just a weird pattern to try to get the blind tremor sense people's attention. And she kind of points to a ledge that is above them. Uh, trying to get you guys to notice something without saying it. Sven, do you want me to say it out loud? Or
Are you going to say it out loud?
she is pointing it out and probably murmurs. Not murmurs, but like says it
Whispers.
quite. Yes, that's the word.
Mhm.
She whispers that there's a campfire up there.
Tusk, give me a percentile since you're leading.
Do you actually want this in the tower or just the chat?
No, just a chat.
Okay. Well, that's better.
All right. So as she points it out, there is a breeze coming from down the mountain, um, and you all now smell the campfire um, as a breeze blows by, um, and you hear very faintly um, pipes being played. No one, excuse me, nowhere near the level of Genesis, but um, it's a recognizable tune.
Could I? Could you send Athena to see if they're hostile? I guess.
Catherine nods, and Athena starts flying up. And Catherine's probably looking through her eyes, because she can't see through her own eyes anyway.
All right, let me find them again. All right, so I'm going to send you some images while I'm looking for Athena.
Okay. Do you mean her like sheet? Because I have it. Only records I own can be shared. Right.
All right, so go ahead and give me a perception check. She has disadvantage because it's night, but she has advantage because she's an owl. So it's just a straight roll.
Okay. No, it's supposed to be 15.
And give me a stealth roll for her. Does she have advantage on stealth?
I don't think it says anything about that.
I thought owls did. Or maybe they're just proficient.
Yeah, I have a +4, but I don't think I have advantage. I'm proficient in perception and I have advantage. That rely on hearing or sight. Is that like a the sound of a very large bird taking off and just, the sort of thing as she flies up. And she probably, Kithri, being aware of how gosh dang loud she's being, will probably tell her to keep flying. And we'll probably meet back up with her later.
So actually, owls are very this her breed of owl is actually pretty quiet, even when she takes off.
Yeah, the
Especially
stealth
compared
roll
to
is
other
bad.
birds. With what she rolled, she's a little bit louder than normal, but normally they're very silent compared to other birds, especially
Mm.
like doves, which are some of the most loudest birds there are. Okay. Anyway, did you? I don't mean to lead you. I just honestly don't remember because I was doing other things. Did you say you were looking through her senses since you can't see anyway?
I remember hearing it.
Same. Ashley?
Okay.
Sorry.
So if that's what you said, here you go. I'll send these to you. Um,
Yeah. So,
this one is asleep.
caster.
This one is not.
Oh, another caster.
This one has a book open on his lap, but is leaning against the back of the cliff and is asleep. So they do have the different apparatus close to them, even the ones asleep. That's why you're able to tell, have an idea of what they are. Um, this one, I could not take the time to cut out the creature in the background, so ignore the creature in the background. They are asleep as well.
Mhm. Is there actually like a Cthulhu looking thing there too, or no?
No, that's why I said ignore the creature in the background.
Okay. Right, right. Um, yeah. So which one did you say was awake? The armored caster?
Yes.
Okay. Does he seem to notice Athena?
No.
So I think Kithri will move up closer and kind of mumble to them, and maybe an orcish. Looks like there's 4 people up there. Someone's keeping watch. It looks like another adventuring group. There's a human, a dwarf, someone in heavy armor. There's 2 humans. I lied. I think that guy's a human. It looks humany.
How far away is this
Correct. Do
again?
you speak Orcish?
I'm pretty sure I don't.
Okay, she's whispering to Genesis and Tusk anyway, so
So
I speak Dwarvish, not Orcish.
She says it in Orcish, and then Jen turns to Crack and says it in Dwarvish. No, I'm kidding, but
Tusk will motion correct a little bit closer so that they don't have to speak as loud. If it's a fellow venturing group, I think we should be fine to just pass by. Hopefully they're friendly. And if not, I think we can take care of them. But let's try the okay route.
Well, how far away was this again?
Athena doesn't know.
Well, I saw
Can
the
I guess? Because I was looking
ledge.
through her eyes.
So, what do you see on the map?
Don't see anything.
I just see
Oh,
a
I think I know the
Trailsville map
Probably
area
in
where
the
now.
black space.
Yeah, the black
Yeah.
space, you can kind of see like light peeking around the corners up there.
You thinking this one? I think I might just be just out of range.
Oh,
Or is
you're
it
right.
that one?
It's flickering. The light is flickering. That's the campfire.
So yes,
Oh.
if you go up
Nope,
and
I
around
see
the
it.
corner, you see this area
I
up
see it
there.
now.
This area up there is that's my wrong map. Hold on.
Okay, I see what you're talking about now, actually.
So you see the Genesis. You see the light reflecting off the rocks there.
Okay. Well, we could try to sneak up on them, or I might as well just announce our presence.
We could.
And
Yeah.
Jen's
I'm fine
like
with that.
already reaching for her flute, so
I'm alright with it. If they have a problem with it, we can certainly address that. And while Jen gets ready to do that, Tusk will continue walking unless someone's going to stop him.
yeah, unless anybody stops her, Jen's going to she recognizes the tune, and so she's going to start joining in.
All right. Give me a performance check.
And just because I can, I'm going to be using a natural diplomat. Oh, hit that twice. To add a d8 to my result.
I
You
feel
want
like
it in
this is
the
a
tower?
perfect situation.
No, you can tell how well you're playing.
We are very tired.
But even you're tired is fairly well.
We are very tired.
All right. 17 is a solid roll, so you're able to play.
Mm-hmm.
You play it well, solidly. It's not with robust and with feeling, but it's mechanically sound.
Yeah, it's more like wearing a bear bell so that like they know that you're there and you don't like surprise them.
Meanwhile, Jen's just internally criticizing herself, like, I could do so much better. I know I can.
She's
It's
like,
perfect.
I
It's like
know
it's really
I could
good.
get at least a 33 on my roll.
Not a
And
knock your socks off of performance this time.
And I think that because she is currently playing music, she's lagging a little bit behind Tusk and letting him lead a bit more.
Kithri, are you joining us?
Oh, we don't know where she went. She's too stealthy.
Gone.
So
Turns out she decided to check it out before us, and she just disappeared.
Kithri, you are about as exposed as you can possibly be walking along the edge. If you did want to try to stealth, you would probably be hugging the cliff face,
Right there.
right along those lines. But then again, it makes it very hard to see. You can also climb the cliff. So if you don't want to take the long way around, you can just go straight up.
No. She's not into that. It's too
Oh
much
yeah,
work.
Can't your mount climb
Cromwell
too?
climbed a cliff, I remember. It's pretty.
Yeah. I climbed a rock. That was really hard to climb. It was a really big rock, big boulder.
I remember that. That was annoying.
Luthien
Did
turned
not
into a
need that
spider
extra
once.
level of exhaustion.
All right. So give me just a moment.
All
Need
right,
to
stop
pause
him.
there.
Cap at that.
I just imagine if we were the other party, you know, Jen's just doing her thing, and then in the distance you hear somebody playing along, slowly getting closer. Imagine how creepy that would be.
Da 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 da.
All right, and I didn't say anything about it being dark vision because it's not sight based. All right, so everybody except Tusk anyway, so I'll just say it out loud. So you guys notice as you come up onto this trail that goes back, the music stops.
All right.
You know, I think Jen's gonna keep playing as a we mean you no harm, here listen to this music sort of thing.
You know, maybe we should like light a torch or something.
No.
Wouldn't that
I
be
mean, you
much
can.
less
That's not how
threatening?
Kithri. That's not how Kithri operates. If you want to light a torch, you can light a torch. It's not
You
like
can light a
Kithri's gonna
torch,
stop
Kithri will
you.
just lag a little bit further behind.
With how we're trying to go about this, correct? If you would like to use your lights, should be fine.
Yeah.
If they're camping nearby, there shouldn't be any danger. There shouldn't be any other danger that's nearby, or at least,
Well,
or that would have otherwise attacked. Probably would have already attacked.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah, I guess
So
I'll pick up like a
if we're
rock or
doing that,
something and use the light spell because, you know, just a music approaching you out of the darkness is extremely unsettling to me. I don't know about you, but
yeah, I guess Jen will follow your lead, and she pauses for just a moment to cast light on one of her necklaces, and then keeps playing.
All right, give me just a moment. So Genesis and Crack have light on them. Token light. Genesis. Preset light. Add. So you should all now see in color.
Yeah, all like the
Wow,
moss on the
pretty.
rocks. That's cute.
I can see clearly now. There's light here now.
Right.
I will note Tusk
Right.
does have his axe in hand, but it's not like he's holding it like ready to attack at any moment's notice. More of a having it in hand in case something does attack, but like just in hand. Words are hard tonight.
It makes sense. Jen's the good cop, Tuska's the bad cop.
Sven, are we
All right. Go ahead.
good to
Keep
move
moving.
forward?
Yep.
Okay.
I'm reading. It's too bright up there.
Again, you can climb if you want.
Too much work.
We walk into the entrance of the camp, and the Kithri walks up from behind them.
Da-da.
Too bright, too dark, too much work. Well, make up your mind.
I
All right.
did.
Tusk,
I'm
stop.
following from a distance.
Got it. Oh, look, Athena.
Wow, we found her.
All right, so everybody except Kithri, and Kithri's already seen him anyway, so I'll give you this. As you, armor caster, human caster, bodyguard, dwarf mage. So I'll give you the confusing one first. Like I said before, ignore the creature in the background. You see the thing in front.
Mm-hmm. All right.
And you should be able to hover over the tokens on the map if you can't readily tell who is who, and the name should pop up.
Sounds good.
All right, so can the three of you do you at least see one of those tokens?
I see all of
Yeah.
them.
Yeah, I see all 4.
I accidentally exited out of the human caster. Do you mind sending it again? Thank you.
All right, so I'm just resizing them for the stream. Go ahead and, so at this point, hold on a second. All right, I'm just, do you, Kithri, you can't, do you have, are you able to see Athena at all?
No, I can't even see Athena.
If it helps, I see Athena. I don't know if it does though.
03, actually. 0015, 03, 30. All right, I apologize for the silence. I'm just double checking to see, because I think a couple of them can do stuff. Let me double check.
They're awake.
Mm-hmm. I mean, probably stop to wake him up.
Yes, you guys,
Yeah.
you see that the one by the rock is standing just behind the rock, using the rock as cover. I did not build line of sight into some of the features here, so that means that in that case, it's like this big gray area next to Tusk is very um, it's a little hard to explain, but it's exposed rock, but it may go up 3 feet at the most. It's just more like exposed a little bit and then goes back down. Um, whereas the trail right by Tusk goes up about 3 or 4, 5 feet at the most between here and where the steps occur directly to the north. So in front of you is mostly flat all the way up to the cave wall that does have line of sight. So, for example, the human caster who's standing behind that rock is not in cover because, like I said, you might miss from his knees down from this large rock that's sticking up. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes
Yeah.
sense.
But we're going up the north staircase, right?
Probably stop
Or
and talk.
uh,
I don't know. It depends on what you guys want to do. But I'm just double checking one last thing. So you see the bodyguard has a sword and a shield. The guy behind the rock so in the picture it shows that he has like a glaive looking thing. That is not true. He does not appear to have anything in his hands. He's just standing there watching you guys.
what if we should just go past them?
Okay. All right, almost done. One last thing to check.
Surely, just a
All
quick
right,
talk.
so give me so as the three of you come up the steps, move like another 2 squares.
All right. Tusk will
Wait,
kind of
wait.
put up a hand and hail. Just,
Why?
I mean, they see us, we see them. Might as well say hi. Hail, travelers.
All right, Craig and Kithri, you moving?
I
I mean,
Tusk.
I'm waiting for the
it
light to
just
go.
makes no sense to me why we're interacting with them.
Yeah, no, Kithri doesn't want to talk to them either.
Just move up to.
Nah.
All right. So if you didn't notice, Tusk,
The dwarf
the three
is
of you
gone.
would, but the Tusk, the dwarf is gone.
What's the radius of Tusk's acts of warning?
30
Oh,
feet.
allies within 30 feet get warned
Okay.
if we get attacked.
So at least, like, if they were hostile, we would figure out pretty soon.
Probably.
All right, so they did not respond to your hail.
I think
They're pretty much the guy behind the rock is unmoving at all. I mean, you got the wind; it's blowing some of those. It's got like these ribbons-looking things coming from what he's wearing. But yes, Genesis.
okay. I think once
The
we
other
get in
two
line of sight,
are
Jen's gonna stop
shifting
playing.
their weight a little bit back and forth and things like that, but they're not moving. They're not talking. And like I said, the one in front is completely unmoving, just almost like a statue.
Okay. Once
We
we're
come
in
and
line
ask
of
you a couple
sight, Jen stops
questions.
playing, and she kind of leans over to Tusk and says, "The dwarf cast a spell." More
He's
in a
gone, I
like,
figured.
How?
yeah. We
We
mean you no harm. We're just traveling through.
I
Why don't we
mean,
come and ask you a couple questions?
why? Why do you need to ask them?
Well,
See the
it would
harm in
be
it coming
good
and
to.
asking them about
Yeah.
their travel.
Well, it's
And also,
okay.
it would
I
be
could
good to know
understand
if
if
there's
it was
anything
like
else in the mountains.
So if you guys are talking from 20 feet apart, then they're able more than likely to hear your conversation as you guys are talking.
It's all right. Just want to ask them a couple questions, Crack.
I don't know. It just feels like in this was a different time of day. It'd be a lot better.
Well,
Sorry about
that's
the
why
late
we let
nights. We're
them
trying
know
to
you're
get
coming.
a jump start on our travel. Mind if we ask you a couple questions before we go on our way?
They do not respond.
Being rude.
Or it's an illusion. Well,
So you said they
guess.
were shifting. Are they looking like they're trying to prep for a fight, or are they just more cagey because people traveling in the nights came and interrupt their sleep? I know you kind of said they were moving, bouncing, and then the armored figure was not moving at all, and the dwarf disappeared. But
All right, push you roll.
oh, there it is.
So you're not sure. Give me a percentile, Tusk. Oh, and Krek, Genesis, I need 20 insiders, please.
Well,
There goes my 20 for today.
All right, Krek, when you cast your light spell on the rock, the it's you tap into your bloodline and just it's basically a force of will that does it. Um, and for a moment, it's almost blinding. It's as you cast it, and then it shrinks back down to what normally should be the light spell.
Huh.
You have white spots in front of your eyes as you take a couple moments. Now that you're walking and stuff, and you're using your eyes, by the way, you have seen invisibility on, so if you could remove that or turn it off.
Oh, sorry.
And
or guess it again.
are you going to keep the earplugs in?
I mean, yeah, sure.
All right, Genesis, Mantha, would you throw that effect on him, please?
I believe it's a self effect. Let me check.
You can adjust it.
You can either adjust it or just drag it to him, and it should work on the combat tracker or the map. If it doesn't, let me know. If we don't know how to adjust it, let me know. So where was your percentile? There it is. Okay, yeah. So you're not sure. You see them shift a little bit. The one guy shifts over, and again, when I'm describing this rock face, I can see it in my mind because I've traveled a lot and I've seen this type of ground where it's just rock sticking up out of dirt and stuff. And it may come up a little bit, but for the most part, it's just this large, almost like a concrete parking lot almost of rock. You guys know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what
Okay.
you're talking about.
So he shifts over, but again, he's not going into cover. You can still see him just fine. And same thing in the bodyguard shifts a little bit. the other guy behind the rock is completely unmoving, arms by his side. And you do not see any weapons on him at all either. You don't see any scabbards, you don't see backpack, you just see him in the picture, exactly like the picture, but without the glaive thing.
I guess Jen's gonna mutter to Tusk, mind if I take the lead?
Yeah. Go ahead. Was just trying to get us closer, but they probably aren't happy about a big half orc with a axe coming to them in the dark, even with friendlier allies. Give it
This
a
is
shot,
why
but
I'm
if
the
they are
party
still
prince.
cagey,
And what is
let's
Piper
just go.
doing? Or what are you doing with Piper?
I think as she starts to come closer, he is in her on her shoulder as he usually is, and so he kind of
Okay.
jumps down once she gets, I guess, like 10 feet in front of his Tusk, and just kind of goes 30 feet ahead.
Us kind of takes a
As like
step
a
back to
greeting.
let Jen step forward. Kind of last thing he'll say is, "Don't push it. We can always just keep going."
So about there, Piper hops off her shoulder and goes ahead a bit. I mean, you can come with us. Tusk is like a.
He's just trying to step back a little bit.
I know. I just don't
You
want
also
you to
step
feel
far.
like
You
you have
step.
to be left behind.
Are you
Don't
able to
worry, he
move
doesn't.
Piper's token?
No,
Alright, so do you know how to draw an arrow?
I do.
So point to where you want him to go.
Probably about there.
Alright, and while he's moving there, are you standing still or are you moving up as well?
She's moving up. He's just faster than her. Yeah.
Alright.
Are you guys following
Almost.
behind me?
Well, Tuscasm wasn't thinking you would keep walking towards them.
As you guys are watching, the left hand of the guy standing there whips up, pointing almost straight ahead of him, and these three balls of fire come flying out. One of them,
Okay.
two of them hitting Piper, and one of them hitting Genesis.
Rude.
Who is the rude one?
Jen was trying not to walk forward because they were cagey.
Hey, kidding me right now?
Sorry, but jeez.
Spell.
Can I just dispel magic?
You mean counterspell?
Oh, wait, yeah. No, that's the wrong one.
I have counterspell, but I can't see it.
Sorry, this thing is a little different than what I'm normally used to seeing. So take me just a second, just double checking. Okay, and it does that and this. Okay, so I have to do this first. All right, so do you have... It would be this. Let me double check. So 20 would hit. Piper's armor class.
Yeah. Damn it, just re-summoned him.
There is a reason why I wasn't walking forward.
7. Piper. Hit points. All right, and then his... what do you have as his hit points in tiny form?
Not much. 13.
13. All right, so it's actually 14 now.
Is it?
14.
What?
So it would be 14 now because he gets 1 every level that you gain. So it does not immediately kill him. The first one doesn't.
Wow.
Second one. 16. What is his 17. What is his armor class?
13. Yeah, no, he's gone. Yeah.
7. Wow, he rolled the exact same thing on the other dice. So yes, he's gone. So these 2 balls of fire come and smash into him as he tries to jump out of the way, and it's just sort of little motes of fey dust fade away as this third one comes flying towards you. You wondered why the ball of fire was getting bigger, and then it hit you. Actually, it does not, because you're out of the way as you rolled an 11, and you're able to shift as it goes flying past Tusk and smashes into the rocks down below you guys. And we have initiative. I'll go ahead and push it.
That should have been an advantage.
All right, somebody rolled. Who rolled? Tusk. All
I
right.
did. That should have been an advantage, though. Why did they not roll an advantage?
Because it hates you.
There you go.
8.
I'm gonna roll one more time because that should have been an advantage. That's better.
Why?
I'm just gonna reapply that effect.
All right, Tusk, what would you like to do? So, let me just do one last check for you guys. Kithri didn't see anything that happened, but the other 3 of you did. I'm gonna go this way. Wow. All right. Well, since you all rolled very well, you noticed, in case I wasn't clear enough in my description, this guy did not cast a spell. You didn't hear anything. You didn't see him wave any hands or movement or anything. His hand went up, and the firebolt came out of the end of his hand. So, just to be clear on that. Tusk.
All right. Tusk is going to run up to stand just in front of Jen. I have 40 feet, so I can get there. And then He's just going to stand in front of her, kind of protectively, holding his axe and yell at them. We don't want to fight you, but we will if you attack us. And he'll leave it at that. Trying to be big and intimidating in his kind of yelling this out at them. Sorry, I'm real tired tonight.
No, you're good.
Got better.
Oops.
You do see that the guy with the sword and shield will on occasion sort of look around. He's got like in military we call it your head on a swivel, where you're pretty much always, every few seconds you're turning your head left and right, watching what's around you. This guy is doing that.
All right.
Genesis.
Jen does not want to fight either.
Correct. Do you have? Oh, you do. Never mind. Carry on.
What?
Forget it. Go ahead, Genesis.
I. You know what? I think Jen's going to she again says, "We don't want to fight, we're just passing through. And we'd like to talk." And she's going to hold her action to cast Vicious Mockery at seeing how far away they all are. She's going to cast Vicious Mockery at if one of them attacks, at the one that attacks.
Okay, so just to clarify, first of all, I forget, is Vicious Mockery a cantrip?
It is a cantrip.
Okay, then it doesn't matter. But just we talked about this before. If you're holding a spell, you are considered concentrating. So if you get hit, you will have to make a concentration check. And if the round passes and you do not take the action, you still lose the spell slot. In this case, it's a cantrip, so it doesn't matter. All right. It is someone else's turn. Here they are.
Is Tusk resisting the urge to push Jen off the cliff this time?
All right, so you hear from ahead of you. You're not sure who says it. For argument's sake, go ahead and let's see. The three of you can see. I'm giving you three a. Oh, I didn't mean to whisper it to you. There you go. All right, so all three of you succeeded. So you all figure it was from the invisible dwarf because it doesn't look like any of the three of them said it. But although you picture what you would do to do that, where you start thinking about where the nearest deer would be, where you are, and compared to Nashkel, and where you'd think you last time you saw a deer, you then sort of shake your head and don't actually leave. All right, Kithri. So you saw this fire come flying and smash into these rocks. You heard Genesis probably gasp, and then you heard what she said about not wanting to fight. You heard what Tuss said. And do you speak? You do not speak Orcish, but you heard somebody yell out in Orcish. What would you like to do?
Wait, didn't Kithri talk to us in Orcish earlier?
No.
Kithri did talk to them in Orcish, I thought.
Let's see, do you have an asterisk by it?
No, I do not. Did I spell it wrong?
No, it's not even on your list. Common, Draconic, Halfling, and Sylvan, and Uncommon.
I could have sworn I took Orcish. Okay, never mind. I lied! How could I?
It was very convincing.
That's right. Anyway, I'm sorry. Kithri, go ahead. What would you like to do?
Do I hear sounds of fighting? Because I was just trailing in the back because I didn't want to be seen by the.
All right, so once again, you saw the firebolt smash into the rock ahead of you from here. You heard
Okay.
Genesis and them talking. You heard Genesis gasp, and you probably saw some. Actually, from where you were, you wouldn't be able to see the rest of it. And then you heard the guy yell out in Orcish.
Okay.
You do not hear the sound of tusk raging or weapons clashing.
You probably would have heard him yell earlier.
What?
All right, so again,
So I already saw all of these guys, right?
yes. And remember, this is a large flat rock, so there's nowhere to really hide there. You could go behind next above Krek and try to hide in those shadows. It is dark, but Krek has a light spell, so all around him is still light.
Yeah,
All right, so that's 40 feet.
Okay. Well, can only make it up to there. And she'll kind of like ask what's going on.
Give me a perception check, DC 12.
Yay.
All right, so you realize that you cannot see Piper. And Genesis has had him as you guys have been walking and stuff. Put 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. So the armor casters sort of tilts its head, which is lowers his arm and sort of tilts his head. Doesn't do anything. And what would you like Athena to do? What is her height right now?
Kithri's height or Athena's?
Athena.
Okay, I was like, it hasn't changed as much as she hates it. She's probably pretty high up there, as I told her to keep going. So I would say around 100 and 200 feet, depending on how fast she was going. I can't see her on the map. Wait, let me look around. Oh, now I see her.
All right, so she would be at best 100 feet in order
Okay.
to see the details that you saw before.
Mhm.
But she's climbing. What would you like her to do at this point?
Probably keep going further away. Like she has nothing to do with us. Because I am.
All right, so she flies off. I will remove her from combat tracker. Correct. Got a great line for lightning bolt.
Yeah. It is a
I
great
mean-
line.
You can go over the rock too.
You would only hit Kithri and Tusk can take it, and Kithri will probably jump out of the way.
I mean,
Why would I want to hit that guy? I'm joking.
She's the one that cast the fireball.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's
once
kind
you
of mean, but she kind of deserved it in my eyes.
Okay, well,
After that,
So
so
third, so it's
far,
13.
no one has
Request.
really attacked or
13 plus
anything.
5. 18.
Well, someone is definitely attacked. I don't know what you're talking about, but
I said after
no one
that.
on our side.
oh, okay. I just
That's what I meant was after that
Wow,
initial
you
thing.
guys all succeeded. All right, so you all recognize the spell that this thing did, even though it didn't look like he cast a spell, was Scorching Ray. Except Tusk, we wouldn't recognize that, but the three of you
Nah.
did. All right, Craig, what would you like to do?
I guess
And you have
I
yourself
will.
targeted, by the way.
Yeah, because I casted the light spell. For now, I guess I'll just move up the path more, maybe kind of like ignoring it, but also getting like a better vantage point at the same time, unless this map is not what I think it is.
So as I said, from where you are to the base of those little steppy things is maybe 5 feet higher.
It's not nothing.
Right. And then the steps themselves go up another 5 to 7 feet. All right. And if you guys could either say, hey, I'm done when you're moving, or say I'm going to move, 30 feet. That way I don't cut you in half like I did with Kithri.
Okay, sorry.
That's all right. It's not something I've asked you guys to do very often, so I just want to make sure we keep things
Just
moving as
one.
much as I can. All right, so you're moving 30 feet.
Yeah,
What else you doing?
that'll be it for now. I'm not even gonna hold a spell or anything, because that's.
All right, Kithri.
I don't know what's going on still. Like, because I didn't see Piper get shot, right?
But you do know that you can't see him.
Correct, you do not see it.
Yeah. She'll probably like tap Genesis on the arm and be like, "What's going on? Why are we approaching them?"
Alright, so you're walking up and talking to Genesis. Genesis. You let go of the weave as nothing. The three of them did not attack. We cannot hear you. There we go.
Oh, sorry. I was typing for clarification.
The voice that spoke in Orcish.
Okay.
Because it's an odd thing to say in this.
Yeah.
That's happening.
Um. I guess she says, "Well, if you're quite done with that, we'd still like to talk." And she sounds offended. Like, yeah. I think, again, she's going to be holding cutting words. Or not cutting words, vicious mockery. But she's still not attacking.
Alright, Tusk.
Just gonna kind of look to Jen and Kithry and kind of look back at them. And I think we just best move on. Next time, if you don't want to talk, just say so. We're trying to be nice and too, and Tusk will start to back up. And as he kind of starts to step away, he's only going to go about 20 feet this moment. He'll kind of say a little quieter and dwarvish. Well, nice to talk with a dwarf. Dwarf too.
So
And
are you
just kind of leave it
whispering
at
it
that.
to the two ladies, or are you saying it loud enough so that the dwarf can overhear?
Loud enough so the dwarf could overhear.
Okay.
In dwarvish. At least that's his intent. And Tusk is trying to be very clear that he's trying to move on now, but still prepped if they attack us.
Alright, so Craig, since I'm doing something else, would you give me a perception check? I'm gonna say it is a DC 13. Alright, so you realize this.
I bet the dwarf is coming around to flank us.
It's not a bet unless you say how much.
I mean, yeah, I definitely thought to myself the instant casted that spell.
This is not the same person.
What? Who are you referring to in this?
Do you see? Yeah, the guy with the blue things on him.
Oh, okay.
And so he is holding a longbow. He also has a mace by his side. The longbow was he does not have an arrow knocked, but he pulls up the bow and let me see what happened. That okay. So he and very quickly mutters and says something, and this arrow comes flying toward Krek.
What the
After
heck?
No.
because of what happening, the arrow goes off, and then Genesis, your reaction can happen, and you see and then he's reaching back for a real arrow from his quiver, and he's getting ready to shoot.
Wasn't even.
And Jen says, "You know, you're lucky I respect the dead because I certainly don't respect you right now." And I believe since he saved, it doesn't do anything.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, the green arrow goes flying toward Krek, also misses. You see it slam into the wall behind him, and smoke appears as the acid starts burning into the rock behind him.
Oh wait, no, that's okay. I was thinking of acid splash, not. I was gonna say.
It's much more powerful than acid splash, as you from looking at it.
Yeah, I was just thinking. Well, even if it missed, wouldn't I get hit with something? But that's acid splash, right? Not acid arrow.
I don't think so. I don't think in either case it's half damage. Oh, it does. Haha. All right, so on a miss, it splashes the target with acid. All right,
Oh.
so it doesn't fly behind you. It sort of slams into the rock, steps above you, and you get splashed with this acid.
Just why did he attack me?
I don't know.
All right, so I'm going to. It's not really a save, so I'm just going to click half and make sure that it doesn't do full damage because it should be half. Half. Well, if you guys see my screen, I've got like 13 windows open right now.
Okay.
All right, and then it follows up with 2 real arrows.
What?
First one misses. So is the second one. All right, well, so both these arrows come flying towards you, and you're able to easily dodge them as they go smashing into the rocks behind you.
The heck?
All right,
Okay.
correct.
I'm gonna do something I haven't tried to do for a while. Polymorph time.
What are we going for? A kitten?
All right, as you cast your spell, you see him react. What level is Polymorph?
4th. And he has to roll a save. It's not an attack.
I have to roll. I have to click on him real quick. +10 the spell's level is 4th level. Okay, so as you see him react, you can tell he tried to counterspell, but he failed.
Nice.
Okay, yeah.
So go ahead and do his save, and then give me a 20 as well.
Yes!
Nice.
Nice.
Three on the dice is not going to cut it.
You said you wanted a 20. There it is. Yeah, I'll probably go with like a small, like a house cat. Sure.
All right, and if you would share that in the chat, I just want to know what his options are at this point. Lasts for the duration or until the target drops to 0 hit points or dies.
I still don't want to kill these people even though they attacked us. So that's why I'm using polymorph.
Mm-hmm.
When it reverts to its normal form, it returns to the number of hit points it had before it transforms. If it reverts as a result of dropping to 0, any excess damage it transfers carries over. Okay,
I am concentrating on it, so.
gotcha. Okay, so it is concentration as well?
Yeah.
Okay, up to an hour.
And I mean, Crack's so good at concentration stuff. Yeah, it doesn't matter if they target
All
him.
right, so don't forget to mark off your slot. Doing anything else?
No. I feel like I have a pretty good spot.
All right, so he's a cat. A very angry cat. All right, this one, again, his right, this time his, let's see, is it the same hand? No, it is his right hand. Raises up, and you have to do a quick double take to look behind you, make sure it's not Crick, as he does a lightning bolt.
Oof.
Hey, that's my thing.
That's rude.
No one gets to blast my friends but me.
And he's actually going to move down. Alt 5, 10, 15. So that he can hit all three of you. All right, and I need you to make, all three of you make a dexterity saving throw, please. And correct, when you roll your damage, are they all the same damage, or do you roll for each individual?
I'm pretty sure I just roll all, or no, I think it's actually individual, or how it's set up.
I thought it was okay.
All right, so go ahead and roll
I
for
think
me,
it
guys.
just does.
In chat
Kitri,
or in tower?
no, in the tower. I mean, in chat's fine.
All right.
What are
Danger
you?
sense.
Yeah.
And I
Oh,
need
I have to make a dex save.
Yes.
Yeah, dex save is definitely individual.
Well, no, he was talking about damage.
Damage, yeah, I think that's also individual, but I don't know. I just do it from I just
Oh,
click
no.
the damage button, and I think it does different damage for everyone, but I'm not sure.
I don't think it does different damage for
Yeah,
everyone.
I'm pretty sure it applies the same thing. It's
Okay,
just if
so
they
it's
save
And
or
I could
not, it
test it
automatically
right now.
calculates.
If I could target 2 of them, and then the DM could just
1,
undo
2,
the
Or
3,
just
damage.
4,
If that would work.
5.
Not target anybody and roll your
Oh,
damage
wrong
and see
one.
what it does.
Well, then how will we know if it
1,
applies
2,
different
3,
damage to different targets?
5, 3, 4, 5,
Because
6,
it'll still
7,
roll.
8.
No,
Uh,
roll.
I
It
need
doesn't
to
matter.
roll multiple
Wow.
targets.
That
He just get max damage.
out of 8 d6s, he rolled 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ones. A couple
Oh my
three,
god.
couple threes and a 4. So, out of a possible 48 damage, he did 15. All right, and
Very
so
weak
Kithri, you
fireball.
take none, correct? Because of your
Uh-huh.
specialness.
I am a special girl.
I feel better now about probably not saving.
All right, Tusk is not raging, so he takes all 7, and he moves back where he was.
Ah, I should have twin spelled. Dang it.
There's always next turn.
Probably both of them.
Wait,
Real-
could I twin spell now?
All right, so
Just turn them
Real-
all into cats.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking.
you can twin spell next turn. I mean next week when
Ah,
when we come back. So thank you for playing, guys. Turning one of them into a cat is definitely going to change how this works, at least for as long as he's a cat. So that's cool.
now or until his health points drop. Or I drop concentration.
So, sorry, I didn't get to make my new barbarian joke yet, but that's all right.
Oh,
We'll
no.
get to maybe get to it next week. So thank you guys for playing, and don't forget those of you who are watching live, if you want to come on back next Wednesday at 6:30 to 9:30 Pacific time. There's also the new stuff that we've added this week, thanks to the moderator Amantha helping us out. She's got the you can put in the exclamation point and the character's name, and it'll give you a blurb all about them, or Sven or DM, and it'll give you a blurb about me in the chat. So if you want to see how the characters got here, go to YouTube and search for Svenster77, click my playlist, and this is the Nashkel Homebrew. Like, subscribe, whatever else you do, enjoy the rest of your day.
Bye-bye.
Bye.